Good morning. My name is Funsho King, a GMP student at Maryville University, and here's my final presentation for my quality improvement project. The to- the topic is the effect of telephone call reminders to improve the rates of no-shows. Community chair members, Dr. Bland, the second reader, Dr. Wunderlich, and community person, Michael Omomo. The purpose of this clinical inquiry aimed to improve patient attendance rates and reduce no-show rates, ultimately anticipated to improve patients' engagement and in their care and treatment adherence. A no-show or non-attendance is an appointment missed without prior cancellation or notification. Non-attendance for appointments continues to be a problem in healthcare that results in wasted resources and scheduling issues, and also decreased productivity for clinicians. Missing healthcare appointments without an advance cancellation leads to a no-show or non-attendance, a vacancy in the schedule, or an appointment slot that other patient cannot fill. This project was conducted in an outpatient psychiatric clinic in the Midwest region of the United States. For the review of literature, various research studies expanded this researchers' knowledge about the use of telephone call reminders to improve the rates of no-shows, compared to SMS reminders system currently being used at the clinic. 10 articles were grouped into three themes. After thorough revision of the literature, the themes include a problem, and that's no show, the intervention, the phone call, and outcome is to improve attendance rates. These themes provided the most support and guidance for this project. 6 out of the 10 articles revealed show that telephone call reminders improved attendance rates. The articles reviewed and the quality of each study was also evaluated to figure out the overall body of evidence and the limits of the evidence. The articles reviewed had similarities in many ways, yet they were different. And this researcher was aware of conflict of interest, and there was none for this study. For theoretical framework, the Roy Adaptation Model, RAM, was utilized for this study. RAM is a framework development that commenced in the late 1960s and has been used over the past 50 years to influence practice, knowledge development, research, and interdisciplinary education. RAM characterized nursing as a scientific and humanistic profession, emphasizing the relevance of their specific expertise in contributing to communities' health and well-being. RAM assessed patients in 4 phases that includes physiologic, self-concept, role function, and interdependence. This model showed that humans adapt to change and that it is vital for nurses to help patients adapt to life both when they're healthy and when they are sick. In the physiologic phase, the goal is to focus on a patient's physiologic needs, physiological needs, such as healthcare services, and relate them to reducing the rates of patients' no-shows for this study, and to ensure that patients have easy access to scheduling appointments, convenient locations, and appointment reminders also is crucial. Physical barriers to accessing healthcare services should also be identified and addressed in this phase. In the self-concept phase, the patients discuss how they view themselves and how well they can deal with stress. It is essential to discuss how patients feel about their health care and why they miss appointments. The role function phase will focus on their ability to perform the patient's roles and responsibilities. The barriers that prevent them from keeping their appointments should also be identified and addressed. In the interdependence phase, the focus is on how patients and healthcare providers work together in building trust and enhancing communication between patients and their healthcare professional is vital. Staff can also be trained to communicate effectively with patients so that way everybody can be on the same page in regards the date of the appointment and the time of their appointment. The RAM framework can identify appointment barriers and help patients find strategies to prevent them. For methods and design, this project utilized a quantitative exploratory design. All the data were nominally transcribed and coded. The data collection sheet was created by this researcher, and it only contained the necessary data to meet the objectives of the project. The broad range of the sample supports the tool's reliability and for accuracy and generalizability. Research with a large sample size is recommended, and for this project, there were 154 EMRs were reviewed. The pre and the post intervention data collection sheet contain information pertinent to the QI project, such as the patient's demographic information, age, gender, and ethnicity, and if patient did show up for their appointment or if they did not. I stated earlier, a total of 154 EMRs where patients' EMRs were reviewed for this project. All genders were included, and they were adult patients 18 years of age and older with mental health disorders. The first 77 patients received phone calls only as appointment reminders, and the last 77 received text messages for their appointment reminder. Both phone call and text message reminders were made a week and 24 hours of the set appointment time. And the focus was on adult patients only with mental health disorders, and this study was conducted at a private outpatient psychiatric clinic in the Midwest region of the United States. And here's the table for the pre and the post, for the no-shows and for the patients that showed up. For data analysis, descriptive statistics was utilized, and descriptive statistics guide statistical analysis and data distribution in quantitative research. For this study, descriptive statistics were utilized to analyze gender, age, and ethnicity. The pre-intervention population comprised 55% female patients, 42% male patients, and 3% other, while the post-intervention population comprised 77 female patients, 48% male patients, and 5% other. To compare the pre-intervention group, the female population was dominant. And in the post-intervention group, the males were more represented than the female population by 1%. In the pre and post-intervention age group, most patients with mental health conditions are between the ages of 26 and 64. And the data analysis also showed that mental health disorders were less prominent in patients aged 65 and older in this study. The nominal data collected to evaluate the pre and the post intervention groups of improving no-shows was analyzed using a lower tail z-test for the difference of two proportions. A directional form of chi-squared test explored the relationships between the pre and the post-intervention group. This confidence interval suggests the true change in race ratio from pre to post-intervention. No significant evidence exists to show a change in one direction since 0 is included in the interval. However, phone call reminders increase care engagement in some patients for this study. For the results, here is the Z pre and post no-show rates table. The data from this study reveal the effectiveness of having telephone calls to remind patients of their appointment. 21 patients out of 77 that for the post-intervention, for patients who receive phone calls, had no-shows. And 26 out of 77 patients who received text messages did not attend their appointments. The difference in this z-test of the pre-post no-show rates reveals insufficient information to suggest a decrease. The p-value of 0.1483 confirmed no significant evidence to show a change in one direction greater than the significance level of 0.05. And for study limitation, the study did not include all the patients that attend the clinic. It was a retrospective study Therefore, retrospective studies are more prone to bias and are unable to show a causal relationship. And also, socioeconomic background and educational attainment of the patients were not included. And there's a possible exclusion of people with low socioeconomic status due to the clinic's location being in a suburb, and also due to the possibility of not having access to a telephone or access to telephones or mobile devices. And other technologies such as email or WhatsApp messages were not used as appointment reminders for the study. The findings from the study suggest no significant evidence that the addition of telephone call reminders improved attendance rate. The Z-test was just utilized, and this revealed an insufficient information to suggest a decrease in the no-show rates from the pre to post-intervention group. However, patients talking with a live person to remind them of their appointments help them stay connected to their healthcare providers and engage in their care. Overall, the research um, findings did not provide sufficient evidence to conclude that telephone call reminders significantly reduce the number of patients who do not attend their appointments compared to SMS reminders. A greater proportion of patients who receive telephone call reminders attended their scheduled appointment. For practice implication, the goal of this QI project was to gather evidence that substantiated and compared the effectiveness of text message reminders to telephone call reminders to improve patients' attendance rates, hereby reducing no-shows. No-show rates continues to be a problem in healthcare globally. Telephone call reminders resulted in a higher rate of patients' attendance for appointments compared to SMS in this study, and it increased engagement in patients' care. Also, for nursing implication, it also reinforces evidence in the literature showing that telephone call reminders increases patients' adherence to treatment. It increased the clinician's productivity as well when patients show up for their appointments. In conclusion, research has shown that the implementation of telephone call reminders decreased the occurrence of no-shows and improved patients' attendance rates. Also, cost reduction for healthcare organizations and efficient healthcare services for the patients. Talking with a live person also was found beneficial to increase patients' engagement in their care. Some patients preferred SMS reminders compared to telephone call reminders, and this varied across the different age groups. Overall, most patients more patients that receive telephone calls showed up for their appointments compared to patients that receive text messages, even though the result for the study was not significant. And here are my references and question. If any question, please send me an email at fking1@wave.maryville.edu. Thank you.